Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video we will set up the tests, but before it I just want to show you that currently I'm using JavaScript, what is a Scrum tool, but yeah, this is similar to what we are going to build. So I've already set up a couple of stories, so we will just start moving our stories for the current sprint, what is the initial sprint. And you can see as a product owner I want to create a main project. This is part what we have done in the last video. Okay, the next one is, as a product owner I want to create a project backlog. As a product owner I want to be able to add user stories to the backlog. As a product owner I want to add task to a user story, and as a product owner I want to be able to create simple tasks and add it to the backlog. And the same also for bugs, so that as a product owner I want to be able to add back a bug as task to the backlog. Another one is I want to create sprints, and I want to be able to add user stories to a sprint and start next sprint. So more or less this is in the future videos what we are going to do: create the main project, create a backlog, add user stories, tasks and bugs, and also create sprints and add this user stories to sprints and start the next sprint. Sorry. So let's see, this is our current sprint. Okay, so let's see, create the database is already done, so we can move it. Set up main configs is done. Create a project with Laravel Spark is also done. Okay, perfect. I will just assign it to me. In the repository, so this is one of the things that we didn't do last time. This is what we are going to do right now. So we are going to move it to in progress, and we are just going to create git init. We just created the repository. We are going to add everything to the repository, and then we are going to git commit -m initial commit. Okay, with this our repository is created. But besides this, I like to work with git flow, so I will just initialize it anyway. Git flow init. It asks me for the production or release branch. Yeah, I'm going to stick to the defaults, which is master. Next release is develop. Future for future branches, release for release branch, hotfix, support, and no version tag prefix. And now you can see that we are on branch developed by default. Great, so we can move this task also to done, and the story is finished. Perfect. Next story. I want to create the project backlog. Yeah, create a project. So the idea is that we need a project to start moving forward. So a project cannot exist without a backlog, and the backlog cannot exist without a project. So as soon as we create a new project, the backlog needs to be defined. Before we can move forward, I would like to set up our test environment, and for that I'm going to pull in several packages like behat and PHP spec. Both are from the same company. Behat is meant for the whole feature or integration test, and PHP spec is more meant for unit tests. If you want to know more about both tools, you can go to laracast.com and have a look there at the free videos that Jeffrey has created. I will just pull in some packages. Okay, the behat main package, behat Mink, the Mink extension, the Selenium driver, the web API extension, and the Laracast behat Laravel extension, and also PHP spec and PHP spec for Laravel. So just let us run composer install. Composer update to require the new packages. And this will take a while, so in the meanwhile I will just stop the video and go on when it's ready. Okay, our installation is ready. So if we run behat right now, you will see, yeah, it gives us an error, but behat is already running, and we will just set it up very fast. We need to create a behat file. Okay, let's just create a behat.yaml file. Behat.yaml file, what is a config file? And in this file we are going to set up some defaults. Okay, we are going to autoload the path.base. This is a behat variable. Okay, where we are going to have our tests. In my case, I like to have them in the test folder. So tests, features, bootstrap, and we are also going to create our suites. Okay, and for now I'm going just to create a web suite, and the paths for it are on the paths.base. Inside the tests folder, features, web, and the context for this suite is the web context. Okay, now we can run our behat init. Okay, and you can see, oh, it has not read. It's wrong, it should not be here. Let's delete it. Test features. Okay, let me have a look where the error could be. Oh, the $sign, sorry. Okay, let's run it again. And it seems not to work. Why? Delete. Yeah. indentation. It's a YAML file, so it should be 2 or 4. I would try it with 4. That, yeah, that was the error. So then we can also re-indent it how I like it, with 2 spaces instead of 4. Okay, let's run it again. Let's clear first and see behead / less. Yeah, now you can see that it has created a folder test features web, where we can put our feature files here, test feature bootstrap, where the context class is, and test feature bootstrap feature context is the definitions. So if we run now behead dl, sorry, yeah, dl. So we have no definitions right now, but it's currently working. Let's see it. And yeah, exactly, they are our features for now. And there are no definitions because our feature context is totally empty. Okay, I just found some errors. One of that is that the behead, it's not a YAML file, it's YML file. So we need to change this. And also we are going to change the context. It's contexts, and I will change the name, web features, web feature context. So now if we run now behead init again, okay, now you can see that it has created this web feature context. Let's see it, and there it is. Okay. Now we are going to create our first feature, what is going to be, let me have a look, yeah, site is up and running. Dot feature. Okay, and our feature is going to yeah, in the behead features file. Okay, this feature sentence that are here, there should be 3 lines of code. It should be who, why, and what. And this is only for human purposes. This means that this 3 sentences are only for the dev who's reading this as documentation, as just putting him in context. Yeah, the who is as a product owner, what I want to visit the home page, and why we want to visit the home page, in order to see that the site is up and running. Okay, let's create our first scenario. Our scenario is going to be visit the home page, and what we want to do is when I visit the home page, then I should see some text matching. In this case, let's find Scrumify. Okay, now that our feature is written, let us go to the term and run Behat. Okay, and the first thing it says is that steps are undefined, because when I visit the homepage does not exist, and then I should see that matching whatever text is also not. So it gives us the option to add it to web feature context or to none. I'm going to say none, and I will explain why. It's because what we are going to do is, in our web feature context, instead of creating all these methods by hand, okay, we are going to extend Mink extends Mink context. Let me import the class. Okay, and now if I run behat -dl definition list, it shows us all the definitions that we can use. So when I go to the home page, then I should see whatever text, for example, or should text matching whatever. I should see, I like even more, right? Let me change it. Then I should see Scrumify. And now you can see if when I visit, when I go, sorry, let me have a look again. When I go to the homepage, homepage together. Okay, now when I hover it by pressing Command on my keyboard, you can see that it shows up a method that I can have a look at it. Yeah, I go to the home page. This is the method that is going to be triggered from the class main context. Okay, let's go on. If we run behat, our test is going to fail because it says Mink instance has not been set on main context class. Yeah, this is because our setup is not ready. We need to pull in some extensions. I will just copy and paste them. The first one, extensions, and the first one is the Laracast behat extension, and this will set up our M file. So it's when it's going to run, it searches for an env.behat file. Let's just copy or duplicate our current M file just with a new name. There it is, perfect. And we also need to set up the behat Mink extension with the default session, Laravel, and the base URL that we are going to use later. If we run now our tests, the first test passes, so it goes to the home page, but it cannot see any text called Scrumify. The text Scrumify was not found anywhere in the text of the current page. Let's change it. To change it, we just need to go to our welcome page and change Spark, for example, for Scrumify, and let's see if it works. We run it and both tests are green now. Let's verify it in the browser. Yeah, Scrumify is there, and this is my home page. Great. Okay, we are also going to prepare to run Behat with Selenium. Okay, for that we need to download two files. So if you search for Selenium, okay, and you go on Selenium on the download page, so you can download the standalone server. Okay, just download it here, and then we also need the Selenium Chrome WebDriver. Okay, well, you can download them on Chrome driver is here, and just the latest released. Okay, you can download it from here for your specific version. You can see in my case it's a Mac 64. I already have both, so I'm just going to pull them in. Let me just show you that. So I'm going to create a new folder that's called Selenium. Okay, let me just reveal it in Finder. Perfect. So it's an empty folder, and what I'm going to do now is just I will just drop in both files that I already renamed, because yeah, I don't like versions name and file names and whatever. So we have the Chrome driver and the Selenium. Just a second. Okay, and also what we are going to do is we can run by the way, you need Java for it. Okay, we can run with this command java jar the WebDriver that we want to use and where it's located, and where the Selenium jar is located. We can run a Selenium, and we see that a Selenium server is standalone server is working. So I will just cancel it, and because this command is very difficult to remember and all the stuff, I always suggest to create a inside our package JSON, inside our npm package JSON, you can create a scripts node, and inside the scripts node just I name it Selenium, and now we can java jar the driver, what is webdriver.chrome.driver Selenium Chrome driver, and the binary for the jar for the Selenium server. It's also in the Selenium folder, selenium.jar. Okay, let's clear it and see if it works. npm run Selenium. Yeah, and it works exactly the same. Great. So we have Selenium set up, and now we need to set up Behat to work with Selenium. To do this, we just need to enable Selenium with the default, the browser name that we want to use, browser name in our case is Chrome. You could also use Firefox or Internet Explorer, whatever you want. And the command, show command, Okay, we need to provide, in case of Mac, the command to open it, Google Chrome, and the params that we want to pass to it. So let's see if behead still works. Mink Selenium driver in order to activate Selenium session. Install Mink Selenium driver. Okay, let's see. Selenium is installed. Oh, sorry, Selenium 2. Let's see. Yeah, it still works. Okay, and I remember that we already pulled in the Mink Selenium 2 driver and all the extensions that we are using. So now to see if it works, what we can do is just go to our test directory, and to make it work on JavaScript, we could just on Selenium we can just append JavaScript, add JavaScript before our scenario, and if we run behead now, it gives us an error because Selenium is not working. So I'm going to open a new tab, go to the project folder, and now npm run Selenium, so to have the server up and running. And if I run behead now, it takes a little bit longer and it shows up in a different monitor. Just let me bring it to the front. Let's clear it again, behead, and there it is. You saw it, this was Selenium. What we can do is then there's a command. I wait. Oh, I don't remember it right now. But yeah, let's see it in action again. It runs very fast, and our test, it says wrong, because it's searching on the text of the current page. The difference with Selenium is that Selenium is searching in the body tag, and the Laravel driver before, without the JavaScript, is searching in the whole HTML output. That's why it's giving us green. So this works with Laravel driver, but not with the JavaScript or Selenium driver. Let's test it again. Yeah. And the set is because Scrumify is written there and nowhere in the page in the body tag. So let's change it to pass it. We can actually duplicate this and run one scenario in JavaScript and the other with the Laravel driver. Let's see. First, let's run both. The first one passes and the second one not. So let's go again to our resources, views, welcome, and what I'm going to add is just, oh, it's already there, but it cannot find it. Scrumify. Let me see. Now it should pass. Yeah, now you can see it finds it. Perfect. So we can get rid of the logo. We don't need it for now. It's a nice logo, but it's not ours. So okay, still working. Great. Now I have both passing and both tested. Okay, so we have set up our whole scenario. We can remove this. We are not going to use it anymore. Not for now, not anymore. And we still need to set up our PHP spec. Okay, in order to set up a PHP spec, what we are going to do is just create a new file, php spec.yaml. Okay, and here we are going to define our suites. Our first suite, let's create our suite named project with a namespace of Scrumify, and the spec path we are going to put it on the tests, and the source path we are going to create a new Scrumify folder for it. So I don't like to, or yeah, I like it, but I I would try to move all our domain model or our logic out of the framework folder, so that we can actually only move this around. So this Scrumify is going to be another folder that's out of our project. We could actually just call it src source, and this is our namespace. We will also set up a PSL4 to load it. So what else? Yeah, we need one extension working, that is php spec Laravel extension and the testing environment is testing. And one last thing is the formatter name that we are going to use is pretty. So let's clear and run php spec run. So as you can see, is we have no specs, so it's empty. Okay, what we're going to do now, just in order to verify that php spec is correctly installed and working, we are going to php spec describe project. Okay, there's a new specification for project created in our spec project spec. Okay, let's see. This seems not to be, no, it seems not to be the right one. Let me delete it. Okay, spec path suites extensions. Sorry for the errors. Let's run again. Let's see. Laravel extension. So this should be the correct one now. Okay, cannot find appropriate suite for scope class project. Let's try first to load our Scrumify namespace. It could be Scrumify, and this is going to live, as we said, in our source folder. And now we have to composer dump autoload, okay, and PHP spec describe project. Cannot find appropriate suite for scope class. Okay, let's search together the documentation. Let's go to PHP spec and see what the error is. Yeah, getting started. Yeah, PHP desk, sorry, it's not describe, it's desk project. Oh, still not working. Okay, let me see if the configuration is the proper one. PHP spec.yaml, PHP spec.yaml is correct. Oh, I think I know why. Scrumify project, something like that, or the other way around. Yeah, exactly. We need to provide also the namespace. So in this case, PHP spec desk, yeah, Scrumify what is our project namespace and the project file itself. So it has created it inside our test spec. Okay, this is correct now. I think it's correct. Let me see. Tests spec. Yeah, there it is. Okay, the first thing that it says is this is a default boilerplate that it gives us out of the box. So it says it is instantiable and this should have type project. So let's see if we clear this out and PHP spec run. Okay, it's an error, and PHP spec provides us helpers to create it, to create a class that does not exist. So just answer with a yes, and great. It has created a Scrumify project for us, and I think this is, let us see if it's correct. Yeah, it seems like to be correct. Let's run it again. Still not working. I think this is something with our PSR4 setup. Scrumify should be located on SRC. Oh, horrible. Okay, yeah, I will just remove it entirely. This one, I will just remove the namespace from there and move the file outside of the Scrumify folder. Or no, I'm going to redo it, sorry. So the file still does exist there, and what we are going to do is just change this to Scrumify / I'm not sure. No, I think we should just stick to defaults and conventions. So this, we can move it out there, remove the folder. The namespace can still be the same, and this one we need to move it also out because Scrumify's folder does not exist. It's just our source. And namespace spec. Okay, let's try it now. Let's run it. Clear PHP spec run. Okay, and this is because of our PHP spec config. We need to remove the namespace. Okay. It says that it wants to create. Yes. Already exists. Override. Yes. It cannot be auto-loaded. Okay, I think I know why. Yeah. We changed the composer, but we didn't dump auto-load it again. Yes, I want to create it. Yes, I want to override it, and still not working. Yeah, it says if I need to configure autoloader. Apparently I should, but it's already done, right? Let's see. Project is there. Oh yeah, of course, namespace. Namespace. Scrumify. No, I don't want it. Okay, then let's just delete this entirely again. The spec, I'm going to delete it entirely again. And our PHP spec, I'm going to add the Scrumify. The path is going to be Scrumify, so we are going to change it. And in our composer JSON, we are going also to change it to Scrumify. Let's clear composer dump autoload and PHP spec desk Scrumify project desk, sorry. Okay, let's see how the spec is created. The spec is created correctly. Now if we run it again, it does not exist, so I accept it, but it still says that it cannot be loaded. Okay, let's see. Our Scrumify folder is here. Scrumify project. It creates it inside. I think it's something related with our PHP spec YAML file. Oh yeah. Horrible. Sorry. This is. I will just delete it. I changed the source path from Scrumify just to the default path, and I think what we can do now to stick to conventions is exactly change Scrumify for SRC. So to recap, Scrumify namespace is going to be in the SRC folder. Our PHP spec YAML file, the SRC path is the default path because he is going to create on top of that the SRC. The namespace of our tests and classes is Scrumify. The tests are going to be created inside tests/spec. So let's remove this again. Because we changed again our composer JSON, we need again composer dump autoload, and now we can PHP spec desk Scrumify project, desk again, sorry. Okay, and now if we do PHP spec run, it says to generate our class, yes. Something wrong. Again, with our PHP spec file. Okay, let's change it to Scrumify and see if it works. Composer dump autoload, and now it should work. PHP spec run, yeah, it's instantiable. Okay, this is, yeah, something with the namespace. So our namespace, this is the folder, and from now on we can create as much specs as we want and make it work. So I think this is for today's okay. We're going to git status. Let's see, we changed our composer package. This we don't want it, so I think we are going to remove it, or at least to add it to our git ignore file. So git status again, the Scrumify namespace, behead, yeah, all our files. Let's git add -a. I will attach them all because I know what I'm doing. I know that all the files is what I need. It takes a bit. Okay, git commit -m, git commit -m, and add test environments. Okay, git status, we should still be on the develop branch. You can see it here on the right side also. Great. I think that's it for today, or for this video at least. We still need to set up some things for the test, but we will do it on the way we need it, not before. So yeah, thank you for being here. Please comment if you have some feedback. Sorry for the PHP spec errors. Yeah, sorry for that. And yeah, please subscribe if you like it. Give me some feedbacks in the comments, and follow me on Twitter by @baudideher or twitter.com/baudideher, and just follow me. Thank you very much. Bye.